Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your reading for July 2019. My name is Melanie. This is a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising sign people. So given it's, I'm just going to straighten that up. Given it's general, it may or may not resonate, and that's totally fine. Just check out your Sun or Moon or Rising sign. If it doesn't quite fit for you, take what you like, leave the rest. It's totally fine. So I'll do a 5-card spread for monthly readings. So Aquarius, starting with the first card along the back there representing the past, any past energies which may be relevant for this month. You guys have the Queen of Swords. Second card along being about the current month, July, current issues, the main situation this month, you have the Moon. The third card which came through in the position of what may be an obstacle this month, the Ten of Wands. The fourth card being about what may be helpful, useful tools this month, the Six of Cups, and finally the outcome card for the month for you guys is the Knave of Coins, otherwise known as the Page of Pentacles. And that final card lying down there from a different deck that I use more like oracle cards, that card is called Gumnut Blossom, and that's about contentment, and that represents the overall theme for the month. So I will read from a booklet specifically about that card at the end of the reading. So let's just dive right in and start with that past energy there, the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, swords are about our thoughts, right? Thinking, our beliefs, our ideas, words, communication. So this queen, she's a quick thinker. She's independent, she's intelligent, she's confident, she has a lot of wisdom and perception. She has quite a cool exterior, but a really sort of an inner fragility. She's gone through a lot to get where she is. So she has experienced some real hard times, and sometimes she might have this kind of cool exterior and really lack warmth and be a bit fault-finding and stuff like that. But and it may feel a bit threatening, but inside she's quite the opposite. And having gone through a loss of some sort or gone through some real difficulties, she can seem a bit tough. But really she's actually about change and transformation, because she has gone through stuff. She's lost some stuff. There's a sense of kind of loneliness, of barrenness, of potentially being a widow. But she's also very bright. She's a very good communicator. She's very good at bettering herself and getting through those hard times. This is a card about being able to figure things out, being quite organised, being very perceptive and good in one's thinking. It's a card of productivity. So it can also represent a person. Court cards can represent people in your life. This could be you being the swords suit, which are to do with air signs. Aquarius obviously is an air sign. Or it could be someone that you've dealt with in the past. Could be a woman or someone who embodies the energy of this card, or has a very strong sort of feminine energy about herself. Could be a counsellor, a therapist who's you've been talking to, who's been able to provide really good help and sort of insight into some of your issues and some of the hardships that you may have gone through in the past, and now you're certainly in a better place with things and feeling more powerful and more confident, and have more of an inner strength and inner wisdom about you or about a situation that you've been dealing with. It's a sense of real independence with this card, I think, of going through the struggle, carrying around a loss or something that did not work out, that did not come to fruition, but rising above it, transforming oneself, bettering oneself, and really having your wits about you. So let's see if that's a factor in the rest of the cards for this month. So the second card there representing the month of July and current issues, or the current situation for the month of July, you have the Moon card. Moon cards can have a few different meanings. I guess all tarot cards have both, I guess, positive and negative meanings. The moon card can represent things hidden, things unknown. When we think about the moon, typically we see the moon at night, when we can't see as clearly as we can in the day, and things in the moonlight look shadowy. They're kind of hidden. There's a sense of illusion and mysteriousness. With the moon card, we're often dealing with aspects of the unconscious, things out of our mind, sometimes hidden fears and anxieties, primal kind of fears. It can be a card about intuition, deep contemplation, sort of those animal parts of the brain that are beyond conscious thought, quite deep, deep stuff really that you're maybe dealing with. Is there a struggle in seeing some of this stuff? Are you stopping yourself in some way to see or feel certain things this month potentially? So whatever is happening this month, there is perhaps some things that aren't fully known and won't be fully known this month. Some things are hidden from view, whether that's internally in your mind, still not wanting to process or look at things that are in your subconscious, or it can be a situation going on around you this month where all is not what it seems. It's kind of very powerful energy though. If we think of the moon, you know, how it governs the tides, water, often menstrual cycles, you know, it's a very profoundly spiritual, mysterious kind of spookiness to it that can represent our fears and our insecurities, our anxieties, illusions, that kind of thing. So maybe there's something that you're working on quite deeply this month internally, or like I said, there's some sort of hidden aspects to something that's going on around you this month, and you won't be able to see the full picture quite yet. Which is interesting because the next card along is the Ten of Wands, and that's in the position of what may be an obstacle this month. So tens are the completion of a cycle, and obviously then with the completion of something, then there's the start of something new. The Ten of Wands though really is a heavy card. It's a card of burden, of feeling a lot of stress, having a lot of responsibility, of having taken on too much. Be very wary of carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders this month and saying yes to way too many things, feeling obligated by things, having deadlines, too much pressure, too much stress, too much responsibility, taking on way too much of a heavy load, and kind of like with the moon, because you're under so much pressure and you've got all these wands in front of you blocking your view. It's like a caution against not being able to see clearly this month again, because you're so oppressed by the stuff that you're taking on, whether that's consciously or unconsciously, taking on extra work, taking on other people's issues and their problems that are not yours to solve, and you know, to be somehow very mindful of that as best you can, and be very careful about looking after yourself this month and not to self-sabotage because you can't see what's going on, or you're stuck in a bit of a cycle, or you kind of buy into the busyness kind of thing, and busyness is some sort of weird badge of honor, when really you're so busy or so burdened in some way that you're not helping anyone, and certainly not helping yourself. What can we do about that? What may be useful? So the Six of Cups is the card showing up there in terms of what may be useful this month. The Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia, of the past, of past connections, old relationships, things coming back from the past, learning from the past, looking back at the past with the kind of maturity of age. It potentially is about reunions, getting help from someone returning from the past. That may be, I think, useful for you guys this month in a really positive and harmonious and kind of sweet kind of way. Excuse me. Offering, you know, like I said, this card is nostalgic. So there's something to do with the past and maybe memories also that may be coming up. Or quite possibly someone or something from the past, whether that's a past lover or somebody, a friend or an old acquaintance or a family member that you haven't seen for a very long time, from your childhood or adolescence, or 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20, who is going to be able to offer you, I think, some real support this month in some of this kind of weird, murky stuff that you're sort of just stuck in this month. Possibly too, you could meet someone who you have a sense of knowing this person forever, like who isn't just from your past in this lifetime, but from the past in another lifetime. Also with this card, because it is to do with past and you know, often sometimes childhood connections, it's a reminder to get back to, I think, some of the childlike qualities that can be really light and joyous and playful and fun, which is completely opposite, I think, to the Ten of Wands, which is feeling like you're adulting so much you're not even adulting well, you know, kind of thing. You're really burdened by all these responsibilities. Six of Cups is like, hey, let's just have fun, let's just go play in the park, let's just eat fairy bread, you know, let's just get back to basics, really. Let's reconnect with some old friends and have good times, and maybe they can help share the load, you know, maybe to delegate in some way, or to offer some sort of support that I think you really need this month. The outcome for the month is the the Knave of Coins, which is otherwise known as the Page of Pentacles. Pages or knaves are really kind of young energy. Typically messengers, receiving a message from someone, or having a sense of a message received from the universe. This is a very earthly, grounded energy. There could be some new job or new financial opportunity being offered to you this month, or a message about that. It's a card of practical stuff, steady work, steady development, applying yourself, learning something new, real kind of love of learning something new, whether that's actual study or a new job in some way or a new hobby. There's a sense of financial opportunity with this card, and getting some good news about money, finances, work, or some other support that you may have been waiting for. Because it looks like you have been working with this card hard on something, and you're kind of waiting for the rewards financially to come in. Because this is a young card, it's like this, you know, youthful kind of curiosity about the world, and of learning something new, and of having new ideas about something. It's a card of sort of really enjoying that, and enjoying the rewards that come from learning something new, from working hard on something that you're just starting to apply yourself, you know, learn about, or get instruction or teaching on. But there's some sort of new opportunity, I think, showing up at the end of the month, which has great potential to offer some good, practical, solid rewards. And when I mean that's usually solid job or some solid income. That's, you know, and there's some sort of message coming in for that, and some sort of offering that is very solid in some way. So now I'm just going to read from the book that came along with those cards, which I use like oracle cards from this deck, the Dreamtime Reading Cards. The Dreamtime is the Aboriginal Australian spiritual belief system. Just love these cards, the images and the words. So I'm going to read now about Gumnut Blossom, which represents overall contentment, and that is about this card is about the overall theme for the month. So we'll see if it fits somehow. Contentment. The gum tree or eucalyptus often blossoms best after a period of harshness. After bushfires or periods of long drought, the gumnut bursts forth into flower in an assortment of colours. Many of the blossoms smell and taste like honey, and it is because of this that they are often associated with contentment and the sweet things in life. Wow, when I think about that, I think of that Six of Cups card, this innocent sweetness about it, and even this innocence with the Page of Pentacles. And this, they're talking about the eucalyptus coming is best after a period of harshness. And I think this Queen of Swords in your past, you have gone through some really harsh, difficult times, but now there's a sense of blooming and blossoming, even though you don't know everything right now. But there is a good outcome. The gumnut blossom bursts forth with its message of happiness and contentment. It can symbolize a period of success after a difficult or challenging time. Absolutely. This is the time to celebrate your success and enjoy a period of lightheartedness and progress. Sometimes you can forget to enjoy these periods of contentment and sweetness because you are too busy worrying about what's still to come. It's exactly the Ten of Swords card. Worry, worry, heavy, heavy stuff. At this time, the gumnut blossom asks you not to worry about what the future holds, but instead give thanks for the situation you currently find yourself in. Appreciate the people around you, smile and laugh, and share the sweetness of your harvest with those you love. The colour of the gumnut blossoms can also give you insight into what areas you have made progress in. That's if you happen to live near some gumnut blossoms. I'm in Australia and I don't live near any, so, you know. So Aquarius, I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope this has been useful in some way for you for the month of July. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this reading. I'm really, really grateful that you've given it your time and attention. All the best for this month, and I hope to see you guys back in August. See ya.